Good morning. Welcome to Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig in the morning. Sometimes I'm Dan most of the time.
And I am I am Craig all the time, I think.
Are you now?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I titled this show Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig before I met Craig, actually. And I liked the title, and then I went out searching for a Craig. And this is Two Scoops.
You're watching Two Scoops Morning News with Dan and Craig, your sunrise reminder that things could get worse, so laugh at them while you still can.
Yay!
You didn't really think that through. You kind of put yourself in a box there. By
Yeah.
doing that, you're like, shit. Now.
I mean, it's
I-
really. There's a lot of Craigs in the world, but there aren't that many Craigs that are, decent human beings, like ones that aren't boring old men. Ones that
So
would be easy to work with. I knew would be a challenge to find. And if anybody knows of any, please slide into my DMs on Twitter. Hi, Craig.
so speaking of, I don't know. Good morning.
Good morning.
I like how you're like, all right, I got it up. Are you ready? I'm like, hang on, and you just like cut out the intro music. And it's
I
like,
didn't cut out the intro music. The intro music was over because you were taking too long.
but usually you just like play it through another round when we're not ready, and you're like, no, I'm just gonna sit here in awkward silence.
Yes.
All
Well, I knew
right.
starting it over would be potentially even more awkward, but it's fine. We got some news to talk about. Do you want to do mine first? Do you want to do yours first?
Do yours first.
All right.
It's mine. Better.
While I'm doing mine, share your screen, and I will have that ready at some point. Now, Craig, do you know who Brian Walshe is?
The name is familiar. Is
It's
it
not
Matt Walsh? Brother?
No, and it's not Brian Head Welch from Corn either. It's just some schlubby guy actually, who allegedly killed his wife. Can't say for sure. Oh, that's yours. We don't need that yet. Brian Walsh. This is from YahooNews.com, so you know it's legit. Where's this screen going here? All right. Brian Walsh pleads not guilty to murder. Everything we know about the case. So this guy, his wife came up missing around New Year's, and yeah, she hasn't been seen since. And the cops, to my knowledge, have not found a body, found any like hard evidence or anything, but they have convicted him based on some other evidence, mostly I think his Google searches. So there's not much known about the case here, but this is Brian Walsh or Welsh,
Mm,
Walsh. Schlubby guy, as I said, got
Very
at least 3 or 4 chins. But this is just a brief clip from the trial where they're talking about his Google searches that I thought was worth a share. Oh, we're gonna get an ad.
This
Good.
weird new tool is quickly becoming the
Wow,
most
what a
popular
weird new
Christmas
tool.
gift for
Neat.
gardeners in
Wow.
2022.
What's the name of it?
combi-
Don't care.
At
All right.
4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before
Pause,
the body
pause,
starts to
Buzz.
Huh.
Now it's very, very convenient to put an ad for a little portable handsaw on a video of a guy that murdered and disappeared his wife.
That is true. And you're gonna find out just how relevant that might be here in a moment. But now I feel uncomfortable getting that ad at the beginning of this. But here's Brian Walsh.
long before a body starts to smell. At 4:58 a.m., how to stop a body from decomposing. At 5:20 a.m., he searched how to embalm a body. At 5:47 a.m., 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. At 6:25 a.m. on the 1st, how long for someone to be missing to inherit. At 6:34 a.m. on the 1st, can you throw away body parts? At 9:29 a.m., what does formaldehyde do? At 9:34 a.m. on the 1st, how long does DNA last? At 9:59 a.m., can identification be made on partial remains? At 11:34 a.m., dismemberment and the best ways to dispose of a body. At 11:44, how to clean blood from wooden floor. At 11:56 on the first, luminol to detect blood. At 1:08, what happens when you put body parts in ammonia? At 1:21 p.m., is it better to throw crime scene clothes away or wash them?
This guy spent so much more time trying to figure out what to do with this body than he did trying to fix his marriage, I would imagine. But
He should have thought this through before he murdered her.
go to the library, do some searching there.
First
I'm
thing
not
that
giving
comes
anybody
to mind-
tips or anything.
First thing that comes to mind to me here is I gotta clear my Google search. Oh God.
Before I kill my wife. Yeah.
God, man. Like,
Yeah.
at least use DuckDuckGo. Have you never heard the conspiracy theories? Come on.
I mean,
I would
DuckDuckGo is not any safer.
know, but at least try. At least pretend to try to cover your tracks. Like,
This is like boomer murder.
right.
It's like I used to be able to just go down to the library and pick up books on how to dispose of a body, but now, got to use this fandangled internet. The kids are talking about this Google thing, so let's spend all night, morning, and afternoon with very explicit search results on how to get rid of a body. Completely unrelated to the very recent disappearance of my wife, by the way. He pleads not
No.
guilty.
This pleads not. Well, I mean, is this enough to convict though? Like I've Googled.
That was my question.
I've Googled some random shit before. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have ever Googled that. Just nothing like that, like how to dismember a body.
Right.
But I've
It's
Googled,
very
like,
consistently on topic.
I've Googled like how to make certain explosives and stuff just out of curiosity because I'm really bored at the time. And I'm like, I wonder, I probably shouldn't have Googled that. But is this enough to convict? Maybe he's just a very curious individual. You get on, like, you get
Maybe
on
he was doing
topic-
research for like the new show that he's working on, like Breaking Bad or something. I mean,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have often wondered, like, how do they like not get flagged by the CIA? Because that they're doing tons of research on how to like the best way to melt a body in a tub or something. Like,
which kind of plastic tote is an acceptable form of body melting receptacle?
right.
Yeah, they got to be doing. They probably got their own scientists. They don't need to Google that shit though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I still don't feel this is enough to convict. It's enough to definitely get a search warrant and search the shit out of his house, but I don't think you can convict on Google search alone.
I wouldn't think so. And my even bigger question with my devil's advocate brain is there any chance that Brian Walshe did not kill his wife? Assuming that they have no other evidence other than she's missing, I think they probably did find, I think they said that there was like bloody something in his house or something, like something was thrown away with blood on it or something like that. So there's probably a little bit more evidence, but throwing that away, assuming that it's just this Google search and his wife is missing, do you think there's any possibility that Brian Walshe is not guilty?
Derek Ambrose is in the comments, and he's definitely going to jail because he has Googled how to make pipe bombs, how to make a nuke, everything you need.
Now he's putting it in the chats, which I'm sure is really helping his results
Yeah.
here.
How to make ammonium nitrate.
How to get noticed by the Fed. Like,
Yes.
excuse me, I would like to know. I have searched for this, I have searched for that, and I would like to remind you all, dear CIA.
How to get flagged in 6 easy steps.
That's right. Welcome to the show. Craig, if you had to give your best devil's advocate argument, if you were Brian Walsh's lawyer, what would be your explanation for why he would have been searching for this and didn't kill his wife?
So my wife just disappeared. She just up and disappeared. And I suspected that my friend did it, but there is no proof that my friend did it. So I was looking up all the ways that he could have cleaned this up so I could pass this information along and being like, obviously he could have done this. Obviously he could have scrubbed his floors with this chemical. Obviously he could have dismembered the body with this kind of hand hacksaw that I saw on this YouTube ad before I started watching this video.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely ways around it.
Now, I have a different theory that I just now thought of and haven't put much thought into, but it seems compelling. You'll notice something in this secondary headline here. Prosecutors alleged the Massachusetts man dismembered his wife, Anna, after using their son's iPad to search for the best ways to get rid of the body.
The son did it.
The son's iPad, and we're assuming that the son wasn't the one searching for these?
Right?
I mean, he might have admitted to searching for these, but again, we're not caring about actual facts here. We're just playing devil's advocate. So the son might be the guilty victim. He was fed up with the way his mom was treating her husband, his father.
Yes.
She's been such a witch, and then she just comes up missing.
She makes fun of his jowls and his double chin every night, and she's just putting him through hell. So yeah, and
I mean,
the thing
look at her and look at him.
The thing is, you're like, we don't care about facts. Well, you don't actually need like hard facts to seed in some shadow of doubt. Like all you got to do is be like, well, there's a little bit of doubt here because it's got to be beyond a shadow of doubt for you to be convicted. So
Right.
it doesn't have to be facts. It just has to be like a plausible situation here.
It
and
is
it's
the lawyer's job to convince you that there's a possibility that the son murdered his mother. Yes.
Yes. How old's the son is the next question, because if he's like 3, I'm gonna have to say probably not that plausible. But if he's like a 16-year-old angsty teen, then there's possibilities there.
I'm not seeing a son's age, but
I didn't
I'm leaning toward the son.
Yeah.
Now again, before we move on, here again, all in like the span of a 24-hour period, it was how long before a body starts to smell, how to stop a body from decomposing, how to embalm a body, 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. 10 ways. He wanted to find the top 10 best so that he could take them all into consideration. 10 ways. Here, I'll share this. How long for someone to be missing to inherit?
Yeah,
so he's still like boomery. What does formaldehyde do? Just wondering. Not related to the rest of these. How long does DNA last? Can identification be made on partial remains? The best way to dispose of a body? How to clean blood from wooden floor? What happens when you put body parts in ammonia? Hacksaw, best tool to dismember, which is my favorite given the
Yes.
well-placed ad there. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Very, very specific there at the end. If somebody died, just hypothetically, in your house, could you be responsible if the body's not found? Well, that's, the age-old question. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Of course, it's possible, but I don't know what he was expecting to find on a quick Google search, but I hope he found it.
He should have Googled, can a person be charged for murder based on their Google searches? That's what he should have Googled.
That should have been the first thing he searched, and then switched over to something else like Brave browser, whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Now, before you pull up mine, I gotta say this because this segues nicely into mine. Now,
Nathan Klein says Tor browser, people. He's trying to help.
Yes. Help people out, Nathan. Help these murderers out.
Right.
Or not murders. Now the Davos 2023 just ended this couple days ago, and one of the things that they were very, very keen to talk about was these new AI like chat bots, like helpful chat bots that learn from all the troves of data that all these billionaires have bought from, not from you, but from the people that stole your data from you. And I gotta say that all these chat bots and all these AIs that are learning from your search history, learning from the things that you do online. These are going to be fucking monsters.
Yeah.
These are going to be like you get.
They tried this. There was a case like, I don't know, 5 years ago or so where they made like one of the first AI bot responder things that would just talk back to you, and within like a span of a couple hours, the internet had turned, like they had trolled it so much that the AI started responding as though it were a Nazi and was giving like Nazi responses because it learned from all the trolling and all the sarcasm and all the, probably some Nazis
you have no fear because the Nazi AI bots that we intentionally trolled and created now have a leader, because now there is an AI Adolf Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein and others. Historical. We did it. All the technology we have, we've ended with AI Hitler.
If they didn't make Hitler out to be such a, now don't mistake my words, he's a bad guy. If they didn't make him out to be the end all boogeyman, it wouldn't be such a troll joke that the internet uses that would turn these AI. I don't know, like Stalin, Mao, all these people, they killed a lot more. Or some of them more people. I don't know the exact numbers, but they killed a lot of people. And you don't see like the Stalinites turning the AI into Stalin supporters or anything like that. But I don't know.
Okay, so
If the internet didn't make it so fun to, be a terrible person, then our robots would be more wholesome, I'm pretty sure.
it's true, but this wasn't like, hey, we've accidentally morphed this AI into Hitler. No, some app actually designed
Oh.
historical figures in an app, and they created a Hitler and a Jeffrey Epstein and a JFK and a Henry Ford just for historical purposes, so you can have these like educational conversations.
This
with these
changes
people.
everything, and I'm way more into it now.
Yes, and Jesus too. It says. It says
Nice.
controversial new AI chat app lets you talk to virtual versions of historical figures from Jesus to Adolf Hitler. I like how they covered all ends of the spectrum there.
Yes. What's the name of this app?
We'll get there. But the caveat is the bot has produced some puzzling and worrying responses.
You think?
You created Adolf Hitler as a chatbot, and you're concerned
And
about
Jeffrey
its
Epstein.
Now, the app is called Historical Figures.
I'm surprised this Hitler fellow is so controversial online. Who would have thought?
Says a new chatbot that lets you talk to AI versions of historical figures has caused some controversy by charging users to talk to Adolf Hitler. The iPhone app called Historical Figures uses Chat GPT, which is exactly what they were promoting at the WEF last week, is the Chat GPT algorithm. So my segue worked really well because I didn't
Historical
realize.
figures chat?
Yes.
All right, got it. Go on.
To generate virtual versions of dead people from Jesus to Jeffrey Epstein. Developed by 25-year-old Siddhant Chadha, the app gives you access to 20,000 historical figures who can talk to users as if they were still alive.
Ugh.
However, historical figures
So this
has
is
been on the
audio
receiving
even?
I'm not sure.
If so, this is
I
like
hope-
a podcast gold mine if we pay
No
the $5 a month.
However, historical figures has been on the receiving end of some criticism because some of its more controversial figures seem intent on defending their actions.
No
Well,
shit.
now stop here. You've got an AI that thinks it's Adolf Hitler, and you think that this guy's not going to defend what he did?
Uh-huh.
I mean, he spent his whole life defending what he fucking killed himself
Right.
because
If you're going to make
of
it
the
accurate or even give it the perception of accuracy to what he would say, of course he would defend his actions. And if he wasn't defending his actions, if he was just like, well, I'm Hitler's ghost and I feel real bad about the things that I did, like, who wants to pay for that?
the thing is, it says they seem
Also, if you
intent
take
on
these people off your platform, just like all the other social medias kicking off all the controversial figures, if you take these people off your platform, I'm deleting the app for yours too.
no shit.
Because I don't care what George Washington has to say.
Now it says they seem intent on defending their actions, and you said, what are they going to do? Apologize? It almost seems like they are more apologetic, though, because it says, according to Vice, the Epstein AI said he's focused on justice and closure for his crimes and doesn't know who killed him. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein cared about justice? Well, I mean, that's not admitting that he did something wrong. That could be him saying, I didn't do it, but we need some closure here.
Still, no, not buying
it. Joseph Goebbels claims to feel guilty about the persecution of the Jews. Now, that's the problem I have, because there's no Joseph Goebbels out there that's going to be like, no, I feel really bad for all the Jews that I killed.
Yeah.
But no, Hitler is $15.99. But you can talk to Goebbels for free. So he's like the free Hitler. He's like he's second tier Hitler.
Different people cost more. It's like Cameo.
Yes,
like the Cameo app where you pay somebody for a little message, and Hitler's worth more than Goebbels. Wow.
It says
So they're monetizing
Twitter
Hitler.
they are monetizing Hitler. Twitter users have been confused by some of the bizarre responses the AI versions of historical figures have produced, including notable anti-Semite Henry Ford, who denied hating Jews, people hating Jewish people by saying, "I have always believed in equality for everyone, regardless of their religious backgrounds and beliefs." So
I want the audio
I'm
clip of
not so
Hitler saying that.
concerned. I'm not so yeah, no kidding. I'm not so concerned about the fact that they seem intent on I'm concerned about historical accuracy because Henry Ford would not have said, "I have always believed." I want the real Henry Ford
Right.
saying like, "F the J." I'm not gonna say it because I don't
Yeah.
wanna get us nuked just yet.
Just
Um,
Google search it later.
it says, "In reality, Henry Ford." In reality, Henry Ford published a newspaper which regularly promoted untrue anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. One Twitter user even asked JFK who killed him. The chatbot version of the deceased president who was assassinated said there are many unanswered questions about his own. It seems fucking lame to me, in my opinion. That's the problem I have with it. I want historic accuracy. I want Adolf Hitler, like literally, like we got to shut down this app because Adolf Hitler is so fucking crazy.
Right.
That's the guy that I
Convince
want.
me.
I don't
Yeah.
want Hitler being like, "No." Yes, I don't want Hitler being like, I did some bad things in my life and I regret it. Maybe the
I'm not
Jews
paying
weren't so bad after all.
$15.99 to hear a Hitler apology, okay? I'm paying to hear Hitler's
No,
ghost. And this also reminds me of a lot of those ghost hunters where they hear something and they're like, "Was it that? It sounds like that." It doesn't sound anything like that. On their little talkie box thing. But
mm,
it's like, I don't know. It's so easy to sensationalize this if it's, I don't know how you would make it completely historically accurate, but if you're just having them say whatever you feel like you want them to say, then there's zero value to that at all. I also liked how they pointed out somebody even asked JFK who killed him. What do you mean even? Like that would be the first question you would ask JFK, and probably
right.
the only one that people today would ask JFK.
Yeah, it's like, what's your stance on Fidel Castro and the Cuban regime? No, nobody's asking that. They're like, who fucking killed you?
Right.
Like you had to have seen something.
Yep.
Uh, it says the creator told Vice that he thinks the app will be useful from an educational standpoint as a way to teach students about historical figures. However, he justified the app's inaccuracies by saying, "We don't want to spread things that are hateful and harmful to society. So if it detects it detects if it's saying things that are racist or hateful, these sort of things. I don't want to show that to a user." So why would you put fucking Adolf Hitler as an AI bot if you don't want it spouting
Right.
racist hateful things? Because that's all that's all people want to see Hitler for. It's like
This is Hitler is the only reason now that anybody wants to use your app, and that's exactly why they added him, because who cares about this app if not to get some spicy shit.
yeah.
Jack
Why
Skellington says Mashu pile. That's Hitler. And also my gas chambers with wooden doors. Anyway, that's enough from Jack Skellington today, I think. Sorry. What
Yes.
were you saying?
So, just like you said with JFK, the only reason why you're gonna download JFK is to find out who shot him. The
Right.
only reason you're gonna download Adolf Hitler is to hear some spicy shit because, I mean, it, not because even you don't even have to be racist to want to download Adolf Hitler to hear him screaming and ranting about the Jews. I mean, you don't download Adolf Hitler to hear his take on like freaking economics or anything like that. Like what the fuck else are you going to download it for?
Right.
And like you said, if they're changing what the way they would interact, if they have like bots that are monitoring what Adolf Hitler is saying, then you're not listening to Adolf Hitler. You're just listening to some dude
I
with
mean,
an
you're not
Adolf
listening
Hitler.
to Adolf Hitler anyway, but it's
No.
basically just Hitler in a video game and however they felt like programming him at that point.
Mhm. So what do you think about this app? Is it
I
educational?
I have downloaded it, and maybe I'll give us an update on Friday or Wednesday or sometime. But yeah, I have to put in all my credentials, and I'm also not sure how comfortable I feel about this since it is clearly a
You should
brainwashing,
not.
mind control device. But I am very curious. Maybe I'll look up some videos first.
Well, this right here should be the reason you don't download it, because
Too late.
earlier this week, because I think this was developed by China, and earlier this week, the FBI came out and said, we have some concerns about this chat thing that China has developed, but
Yeah.
don't worry, because Microsoft's all in on this chat algorithm, so you should be okay.
Yep. Sounds about right. I want to hear. I want it to be like you ask Hitler a question, and then Hitler responds in the best impersonation of Hitler done by a man with a heavy Chinese accent.
Can you give me an example?
I hadn't thought about it that far. Well, ask Hitler a question, I suppose.
Hitler, what led you to decide that Jewish people were indeed the problem?
Well, you see the way they look at us when we walk down our streets. I got nothing. I can't. I would have to script this. Tune back in on Thursday for more Chinese Hitler. Yes, I'll be studying Mein Kampf. I mean, I would have normally been studying Mein Kampf anyway, but now I'll be studying it harder to get some good ideas for the show. Craig, that seems like a good place to wrap it up. Where can people find you and all the things you got going? Oh, good morning, CD. Welcome to the show.
CD, welcome. Promptly on time.
Yes. Where can people find you, Craig?
People can find me and all the things I do and all the things that I pretend to do at my website, breakthebellpod.com, or all over the social medias and all over the internet, as far and wide as you can go, at the handle at breakthebellpod. We need to get our own chatbot. So why do we not have our own versions of chatbots?
I'm just now noticing your Ronald McDonald Fauci back there, and I think that you should have a separate camera set up that cuts away to him for certain responses. Maybe put a Hitler stash on him. And
I actually never noticed that those two were so.
It wasn't on purpose.
No, I have that. It's a Dr. Fauci like children's book. And then I have the old Ronald McDonald.
It literally just looks like you put a sign that says Fauci on it on top of Ronald McDonald, which is perfect.
That is, and right next to the face of Charles Manson too.
That's right. That's right. And you can find me on thesystemisdown.tv or wherever the System is Downs are sold, most actively on Twitter at TSIDpod. But you can find all the links at thesystemisdown.tv. Any final thoughts, Craig?
I'm just reading Jack Skellington's comments that we probably should never air ever.
Yeah.
But I'm
going to have troubling
to,
fans. You know,
I'm going to take a picture because I will be Googling this shit later.
Yeah. Screenshot it while it lasts, while he still has his account.
Yes.
And to all of you, thanks for being here. Don't be a Nazi, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been Two Scoops Morning News every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central or whenever we feel like it. Until next time, hang in there, America.